Testing 1 2 3. Microphone check 1 2 3. Shout out to Cheeks for making this beat, this song right here.
Big brother trying to mess with my head. He whispers sweet nothing, things better left unsaid. We got our ears to the ground, our eyes wide open and keen. No gaslight, shadows gonna dim our screen. Cheeks, she don't play no games. She calls out all their faces.
Shadow, what up?
Vision, we got that vision.
Sorry. Sparky. Crystal Patty. Shout out to Cheeks for the flute anthem.
Propaganda trying to twist up the truth. They feeding us lies from our childhood youth. But Patrick, he leading the way with the flashlight bright, exposing the darkness and bringing the light.
Jill Moser. Larissa, what's up?
Just back, shout it loud. They try to divide us with their silly schemes. Break up our squad, break up all of our dreams.
Phil
But we
Bond.
stick together, strong and true. Sleuth crew coming for you.
Bam, that was fire. All right, let's get going here. There we go. All right, I just wanted to welcome in everybody. Today we're going to be discussing the case against Brian Walshe for the murder of his wife, Anna. I think we're going to go ahead and look at the case from the prosecutor's point of view as well as the defense team. And then I just want to ask you guys, what do you think this case is all about? I've heard so many different things. A lot of people so far think this is about whether or not she died from natural causes, and I just don't agree with that. I feel like it's not only did she die of natural causes, but why would anybody in their right mind respond to that way that he did? And then again, is it possible that somebody would make such a stupid mistake like that? You know, maybe he did panic. Is that realistic? So make sure you guys participate in the poll. And if you're not familiar with this case, Brian Walshe is accused of murdering and then dismembering his wife, 39-year-old Anna Walsh, around New Year's Day in 2023. He pleaded guilty last month ahead of the trial to misleading police and unlawfully conveying a body, though he denies that he killed his wife and has pleaded not guilty to murder. So he basically did what any defense attorney would do, right? He would sit back and look at the evidence against him and then kind of formulate a plan based on that. It's kind of like a salesman's approach, right? Gather up the information and then they tailor their sales pitch. Cherry picking, right? So he's doing exactly what a defense team would do: lay out all of the discovery and then come up with the best narrative with what you can prove in court. I guess the prosecutor does that too, right? But they have the burden of probable cause and actually having, something to show for it. What's up, Anthony? She was cheating on him and he wanted revenge. Actually, I think that's what happened, honestly, guys. I think that's what happened. It was New Year's. Her relationship had already kind of fizzled away. They were breaking, they were falling apart. The marriage was over essentially, sorry. And it's New Year's, New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop sneaking behind people's backs and I'm going to start my new future with this person that I actually, care about, who actually wants to spend time with me and, wants to connect with me on an intimate level. Yeah, I think Anthony is right. So what I think happened is she came home, sat him down and said, "Hey, there's something I need to tell you. I'm done sneaking behind your back. I need to let you know that I've been cheating on you." And I think he snapped right then and there. So what do you guys think? What's your theory? That's what I think happened. He admitted and then denied. What do you mean? Let me try to fix my Wi-Fi real quick. Tried to reset my modem, but oh, you're asking. Sorry. He admitted and then denied. I don't think so. He literally acted like it didn't happen. His story is that she died of natural causes, and he found her there, and then he panicked. He said, "Well, nobody's going to believe me." Like, that doesn't make any sense. So you dismember this woman that you've loved, that you're completely in love with. You don't just go give her like a proper burial that might be private. Like there's no respect at all. You're just chopping her up into pieces. Like, no. So so it's interesting that 8% of you actually believe that he found her like that and then he just kind of made a bad decision. That's what this case is all about, in my opinion. It has nothing to do with natural death, her dying of natural causes or anything like that. It's, did he really make some stupid decision, and in what realm, in what reality does that happen? Right? In what timeline Does a husband who cares about a woman walk into a home, see her laying there, realize that she's been dead for some time, she's cold, and says, "Oh my God, they're going to think I did it"? Why would they think you did it if there's no abrasions, no markings on her face, no signs of a struggle, no gunshot, no knife wounds, nothing like that, no ligatures? So why would he walk into that home, discover her body, and say those things to himself? Oh my God, they're going to blame it on me. You know, now I need to act as if it was me who actually committed the murder because they're going to pin it on me anyway. And he's acting just like a sadistic psychopath, somebody that, yeah, just a straight up psychopath. No concern, looking at her like trash. What's the easiest way to get rid of her? And that's why he kind of left this trail. And we're going to look at everything. We're going to look at his internet searches. We're going to look at all of it. I think that's what happened. I don't think he planned this. I think she said, "Hey, look, hey man, I'm cheating on you. I've been cheating on you. Like, it's over, bro. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's a new year. Boom, new me. Do what you got to do, bro." Because she was already suffering, I guess. After watching the trial, I guess she wasn't really around her kids at all. He was going through some kind of litigation, and his life was already in turmoil, and she didn't want anything to do with that shit. It's not like he connected with her anyway. She wasn't along for the ride. She was basically trying not to get run over by this guy. And I mean, he looks like a freak. Jesus. Man, poor Anna. She thought, man, I'm going to marry this white dude. He's successful. I'm successful. We're going to take over the world. Mm-mm. Yeah, there's definitely something about him, huh? He's a good chameleon. Fucking smiling. That's him being arrested. Finally. Sparky says, I think he killed her, but I'm not sure. He found out she was unfaithful. Yeah, I think that's what caused it. I mean, that's the motive right there. Right. That's it. New Year's Eve, boom. New Year's resolution. I'm done sneaking around my husband's back. You know, I'm going to tell him before anybody else does, right? They're starting to go out with their friends, right? Behind everybody's back, starting to sneak around, going out to dinner. Basically, they're living like a couple, talking every day. And when I say they, I'm referring to this gentleman, William Fastow. Let's watch a quick video here. I think this would be helpful to put all this into context and how he fits into all of this. So I'm gonna pull up a video. All right, this is from Inside Edition, and I need to share my screen for you.
murder trial of an art dealer accused of killing and dismembering his wife. William Fastow, a real estate broker, took the stand today and admitted he was having an affair with Anna Walshe.
This is important. What's up, Shadow? Shadow says he admitted he got rid of evidence, but not that he killed her. But he also admitted to dismembering her, right? She died of natural causes. He dismembered her body, threw it away in a dumpster because he panicked. That doesn't mean being an idiot, right, doesn't make you a murderer. So that's what he's trying to do. He's like, oh, I'm stupid. I panicked. I'm a weird guy. Kind of like, what was his name? Mark Byers, sorry. In the West Memphis 3 case. Remember how he's kind of weird? HBO's filming him. I don't think it was HBO. I think eventually the documentary was purchased by HBO. The original one. But he's out there in the woods and he's shooting his firearm and he's talking about how he's using ammunition that can't be traced and he's exploding pumpkins. It's him and one of the other fathers. And watching him and how he behaved, it was just so odd, right? He went out to the crime scene and he lit like a fire and he was quoting the Bible. He almost looked like the killer. I think that overall that helped the West Memphis 3 kind of paint this image of innocence, but it was false just because that dude looked nuts. Is that what we're dealing with? Some kind of weird Mark Byers that just lacks logic or truly did panic? Maybe he suffered some kind of mental health situation. Let's play devil's advocate here. Is it possible that he reacted the way he did? Or is he simply just admitting to the evidence, right? If you look at all the internet searches, and we can pull those up right now too. And we'll spend more time on them a little bit later. None of them really say, like, how do you commit murder or how do you commit murder and get away with it? Because I don't think he planned the murder. I think it was spontaneous. It was like a crime of passion. So that's what they did, I think. They went through all of the evidence. They saw what they had, right? None of this really points to murder. There's a few that say after murder. So that's damning, especially when he's trying to paint a picture that it was natural causes. She had her vaccine card, maybe it was myocarditis or some shit like that. Right? But then why would he react the way he did? It's one thing to find your wife deceased and then you call 911 and then they're like, well, we don't know if you did it. You're a prime suspect. We have enough to charge you. That's not what we're looking at here. That's kind of like the picture that the defense is trying to paint. But the truth is, he cut her up. How could any husband do that to his wife? I mean, it's a dead giveaway. This guy is just a callous piece of shit. He's cold-blooded, in my opinion. And all he's doing is looking at the evidence and saying, hey, well, there's really nothing in here that says I'm a murderer. It just says I'm somebody who dismembered his wife and panicked and dumped her body and, did all this elaborate shit to avoid having it pinned on him. In what world is that even possible? In what world does a jury accept that as reality? Right? It has disorganized all over it. First of all, if you're planning a murder, you're not going to leave a footprint the way he did. You're not going to leave evidence the way he did. You're not going to do anything that he did. But if it's a spontaneous murder, crime of passion, this is exactly, in my opinion, what it's going to look like. Right? Boom, he commits the murder. My wife was cheating on me. I freaked out and I killed her. Next thing you know, here he is typing on the computer. Best ways to dispose of a body. 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. How long before a body starts to smell? He's talking about his wife. Like, where's the respect? Where's the dignity? How long for someone to be missing to inheritance? See, that's cold blooded. It's like, forget her. I didn't kill her. She died on her own, but now what, where's the money? Show me the money. Yeah, this is savage. How long for someone to be missing to be dead? Tishman Spire, Washington, D.C., head, Lowe's. Right? Now he's like, okay, now I know what I must do. I need hardware. I need tools. He probably tried to use a knife, right? That's what all fledgling killers do in a lot of cases that we've covered. They start with a knife, and then it's like a bread knife, and then out comes the saw and the power tools. See? Here's a good example. Is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? So that's what he did. He started with a knife, and then he realized that he has to go shopping. Oh shit, what about the phone? Right? I didn't plan this murder. Now what do I do? How to dispose of a cell phone? How to dispose of a computer? I am a user on my wife's credit card. She is missing. Can I still use the card? What jury is going to find this guy innocent? And what fucking person in the right mind would ever respond to discovering your loved one's body in the way that he did? It's not going to fly. It's almost pathetic if you think about it. But the truth is, it's not about what really happened. It's about what you can prove in court. And that's what he's doing. He's playing the game, right? He's pulling the Ted Bundy. You can't prove that I killed her. All you can prove is that I'm an idiot and I made a horrible decision. Also, I may be a psychopath, right? Shadow says, I said he killed her and dismembered and got rid of the evidence. But there was footage of him at the dumpsters. Yeah, right here. Let's watch that. So this is him pulling up to the dumpsters. He's going to kind of walk on the corner, make sure it's all clear. Yeah, he is a psycho. So he kind of went around the corner, checked it out. He's like, all right, everything looks good. It's opened up. I can go, I'm good to go. He looks a little cray-cray. Yeah, he's got that 1,000-yard stare. Now he has bags. What the hell's he doing with these bags? All right, guys, we talk a lot about dismemberment. It makes our skin crawl. We try to understand how a human being could actually physically do something like that and why. Well, they don't look at their victim as a person. It's like an object. Imagine having a large piece of lumber sitting in the middle of your living room floor. How are you going to get it out there by yourself? If you can't, you're going to push it, drag it. Now, what if you need to hide it for whatever reason? Well, you're going to have to cut it into pieces. Most likely to hide it from his kids or whoever might be his neighbors, And also he's trying to prevent her from being identified. So they'll often separate the hands from the head or things like that, right? Because if you look here, some of his searches kind of go along with that. Let's see. 6 ways to dispose of a body. Cleaning up a dead body. How to clean blood from a wood floor. Can I use bleach to clean my wood floors from blood stains? What does bleach do to dead bodies? Like, man, this stuff is really, really dark. Because you can only picture that he's sitting there on a computer or a tablet or an iPad or something or a phone, and his wife is laying there bleeding or deceased. I think he choked her. I think she said, I've been cheating on you. I've been seeing this guy for quite some time. We're starting a new year, and I just wanted to show you the respect that you deserve because I do love you. I'm just not in love with you. And I wanted you to hear it from me first. And he just grabbed her. Bam. Quick, like he just snapped. And when he snapped out of it, she was laying dead on the floor. And then here he is typing away shortly after. Is it possible that a knife with blood on it remains contaminated with HIV? What the hell? Even after being washed with hot water? So now he's trying to take countermeasures. He's trying to kind of hide his searches now. He's like, oh, shit. They're going to come search my internet history. How to remove a SIM card. TJ Maxx near me. He needs his tools. Right here. How to dismember a body. Because this was a fledgling killing. First time he's ever done anything like this. But he's smart enough to get away with it in his mind. Crazy. Let's play this one more time. Let me start at the beginning. Anthony, how does anybody cut up a body, period? Well, I mean, you have physicians who need to perform, pathologists, the coroner, people who need to perform autopsies, surgeons. Sometimes you need to get your leg amputated. So, I mean, there's reasons for there to be dismembered. This is just not one of them. And also, I think it would be hard for a doctor to dismember, let's say his wife has to get her leg, gangrene or whatever it is, some kind of an infection. To save her life, he has to, dismember her leg, amputate. I still don't think, a doctor would want to do that to his own family. I don't even know ethically if they can. What the hell? Also, she had $2.7 million life insurance. Well, yeah, shit. And he seemed kind of scummy. He wants to be on the beach drinking Mai Tais and sleeping with prostitutes. Doing cocaine or whatever. Dead weight is heavy. Absolutely, Sparky. Okay, let's watch this video so we can learn a little bit about the mistress.
Whose husband, Brian, is on trial for murder. He says he met Anna when he sold her a townhouse in D.C.
We quickly became close friends, then confidants, and before long, we started an intimate relationship.
Fasto testified that Anna wanted to tell her husband about the affair.
I think she felt it would be a strike against her integrity if he found out a different way.
The witness testified that the last he
Makes
heard
sense
from
to
Anna
me.
Walshe was a Happy New Year message on New Year's Day, 2023. He grew concerned when he couldn't contact her in the days that followed. Then he said her husband called him on
Check this
January
out.
4th.
I pushed the call to my voicemail.
Why'd you do that?
I was in an intimate relationship with his wife. I had not heard from her in several days, and frankly, I was concerned that maybe he had found out and was calling to confront me.
The voicemail from the husband was
Listen.
played in court.
Hasn't been in touch for a few days. Just wondering if you've spoken to her recently.
This was the state's star witness here in Dedham, Massachusetts, day 4 of testimony in the case against Brian Walshe. He did not look at the
What up, Cheeks? Hey, you missed it. We played the anthem.
witness.
We'll play it
at
again.
all.
Prosecutors
probably
said
play it a
Walshe
lot.
cut up on his body. They say
I
they
like
later
it.
found these tools, including a hacksaw with red-brown stains.
Jeez.
Walsh's internet searches allegedly included best way to dispose of a body and best way to dispose of body parts after murder.
We'd had a number of conversations about what a life together might look like.
Yeah, so I think that's what happened. New Year's Eve, New Year's resolution, no more sneaking around. That's just my opinion. Yeah, the song was great. All right, let's look at the case against him. Let's start with the accusation by the prosecutors. Let's do this fucking crazy. Look at this guy. What the hell is wrong with his eye? It's like even his eyes don't like him. They're like trying to run away from him. And make sure you guys participate in the poll. Brian Walshe killed his wife, A, or B, found her and made a bad choice, which is his defense, or he is playing his best cards. That's what I think happened, right? A and C. Okay, prosecutors allege that Brian Walshe killed Anna on January 1st, 2023, dismembered her body, and disposed of her remains in multiple dumpsters. Right? He didn't want her to be found. She's trash. That's why he put her in the dumpster. To him, she was just trash. A big piece of trash that he had to cut up, separate into more manageable pieces. Key evidence includes disturbing internet searches found on Brian's device shortly after Anna's disappearance. We went over that a little bit. Forensic and physical evidence, tools, traces of blood and bloody knife reportedly found in their room, and bags, clothing with their DNA retrieved from trash dumpsters. All right, let's pause there. Let's take a look at this evidence that they've been presenting here. The contents that was found in the trash. Not quite sure what all this is. To me, this looks like something you would use to cover your boots at a crime scene, like booties. But I could be wrong. I don't know. This one seems to have a string on it, and this one does too. Yeah, it might be an intro and an outro, but I like it. It's hype. It gets me excited, so that's always good. Sparky says, I totally agree, Sleuth. Jari, thank you. If you guys want to reach out, there you go. Don't be shy. Sparky says, that was sweet cheeks. Shadow creepy as fuck. Yeah, this is extremely creepy. But you can tell this is his first time. He snapped. He snapped and he didn't want to go to jail for it. And usually these types of killers blame their victim, right? She made me do it. I just snapped. I don't know what happened. I woke up and there she was on the ground. Yeah, they need to find her body. I think it's possible that he dumped the trash somewhere and then in a completely separate location or maybe even a whole different way got rid of her. Maybe he didn't use dumpsters for the body, right? Separate the body and then separate all the evidence. So I'm not quite sure what this is. It kind of looks like a suit, like a forensic outfit. You would put this on like coveralls. Keep from getting blood all over you. Anthony says, I agree, Sparky. Like they think they're smarter than everyone. They do. Like we all think about serial killers and we think of like Hannibal Lecter. But really, they're not all like Ted Bundy, who was just slightly above, average IQ. They're all basically average IQ men. They just think that they're smarter. And that's usually how they get caught. Right? Going back to the crime scene, countermeasures, constantly going over things in their head. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Becoming paranoid, responding to that paranoia, drawing attention to themselves. Sparky says he was probably feeling like he was losing everything and snapped. Yeah, I think he snapped. He probably strangled her, or she went to bed or something, and he says, well, I'm going to stay up and have a drink. Like, we'll work this out. Like, you're right. We have been kind of growing apart. But I think he might have been blindsided. And then when she was dead, I think he went through her phone and he's like, oh shit, like you're talking to this guy? And then he called. I wonder if he was thinking about killing him. I wonder if he was thinking, plotting against him. Oh, man. Can only imagine. Making my skin crawl. Just picturing this fucking lunatic digging through her flesh, using those tools, right? It's never as easy as they think it's going to be. They pull out the knife and they're like, oh, I'll just kind of cut through and then, I'll break this and that. It's not like a chicken or something, you know what I mean? It's not like turkey dinner. It's never what they expect. Any killer who was willing to come forward and talk about this and why they dismembered somebody, they always talk about how it was nothing like they expected. It was much harder than they thought. So it kind of explains why the plethora of tools here, right? Tendons, muscle. And to him, it's nobody. She made me do it. Now I just have to clean up her mess. Right? He's thinking any husband would do this. Any husband would have done what I did. These look like all the tags and the small boxes that were attached to all the tools that he purchased. Oh, here we go. Tyvek. There we go. See, that's what that is. Duh. Yeah, it's like a coveralls. So you don't get paint all over you. Yep, and they found him. I mean, is this a slam dunk case or no? What are we dealing with here? Why are we even having this conversation? Is it because we're watching in real time a killer manipulate the legal system? Right? Everybody knows I'm guilty. Now prove it. Because they're going to put a shit ton of pressure on that jury. Like, yeah, I mean, it looks bad, but it is possible that he just made a bad decision. I just don't see anybody buying that shit. I wouldn't. Right? We're not talking about somebody who just died of natural causes spontaneously. Right? We're talking about somebody that possibly did die of natural causes, and then a husband discovering her body and for whatever reason deciding to savagely just brutalize her body. Right? I know he was enjoying that. He enjoyed every minute of it. He was probably saying shit like, I bet you regret making that decision, right? I bet you regret doing this. I bet you regret destroying our family. You did this, right? It's always them. It's always the victim. No, there's no body. Let's see. Do we have any more? Look, a bloody shoe. Like, this guy didn't plan anything out. He snapped, and then after he snapped, he was very disorganized, reckless. And then when the dust settled, he looked at everything that had taken place, even after the evidence and everything was kind of presented to him, and said, well, I mean, this isn't evidence of murder. It's just evidence of, tampering with a corpse. The bloody bathrobe. Right? Everybody's winding down. It's bedtime. Everybody's taking a shower, freshed up. What do you want to talk about? Yep, there's no body. I'm sure he was trying to find the guy his wife liked. Yep, looked through her phone, Sparky. Said, oh, this is the guy. Maybe even knew him, right? A little bit from when she purchased the townhouse. He 100% thought about killing him. I think so. I think he was planning it. Like, hey, like I'm already going to prison for life. Like the Sadie Robinson case, that was something. Hey, Yvonne. I don't know what this is. I don't think he had a kill kit. This is more like this seems like a disorganized crime. Everything is very disorganized, chaotic. Tells me he snapped. Everything I'm hearing during the trial that she, was getting really comfortable with this guy that she was seeing, with the affair. And it was a new year, right? We're going into a new year. Fuck this guy, right? Fuck this Michael or Jason Voorhees looking dude, right? Looks like somebody snatched the mask off of Jason Voorhees. That little potato sack from part one. Don't make fun of me. Stop drowning me in the water. Mean kids. That's what he looks like, honestly. I think he snapped. She was done and he snapped. So I don't know if this is a kill kit. I think this is just a fledgling killer kind of learning on the job. I see an kind of like an evolution. I don't know what the hammer was for. I mean, that could be the murder weapon right here. I don't see what this would be used for. Unless she's like in some kind of floorboard underneath something, confined. What would he need the hammer for? And that's often the weapon of choice, right? It's convenient, it's handy. Crime of passion, it might be right there on the counter. It might be already in the room when this person snaps. Just reaches over and grabs it. Or maybe they have a conversation. He says, well, I'm going to go have a drink. I'm going to go sleep on the couch, or I'm going to go get a hotel. Walks out the room, starts thinking, contemplating, and looks down and sees the hammer and just walks back in the room and kills his wife. It sounds crazy, but a lot of crimes that we see and we cover in the stories that we hear in the news on a daily basis, that's what happens. Amazing how you can see people happy in photos and think about what they did just days, weeks later. Scary. Yeah, so if you're cheating on your spouse, don't break up with them in the privacy of your home. Honestly, you never know what could happen. Especially if they're blindsided. Maybe he was blindsided. Like, she'll never leave me. Tyvek makes house stuff like drywall and for spraying insulation foam and things like that. That is why there's coveralls like that, covers with the whole body. Yeah, he was trying to be like Dexter. He was thinking from a CSI perspective. But he's an idiot, right? You can tell he's kind of stupid. What do you need coveralls for? Why wouldn't you just get rid of the clothes that you had on? Maybe he's thinking, oh, well, it will lead back to me. Well, her clothes are going to lead back to you, idiot. See, this is complete disorganization. I don't see any pre-planning at all. And that's why he's kind of going with that story. Because that's the story that fits. He didn't really plan out the murder. He didn't need to. He just snapped. And all the evidence kind of fits with that. All right, let's continue. Also cite motive, financial. So what are they referring to? Let's go back to his internet search. I mean, who does that? Let's say he's telling the truth and he did just stop. What money? You know, it's crazy. Let's see. Something about inheritance. Right here. Can I still use the card? Like he's trying to use a dead person's credit card. Oh, missing. How long for somebody to be missing to inheritance? Yeah, not a jury in the world's going to let this man free. But think about it. How crazy would it be if he literally came home and she was dead? So I kind of want to go down that road. I mean, is that possible? That he literally was like, there's no way they're going to think that I didn't do this. But if it was natural causes, right? There's not going to be any wounds. There's not going to be anything. It's going to take a doctor to be like, oh, well, her kidneys gave out, or she had a heart attack that, you know, some kind of rare side effect to medication or something that she was doing, or the vaccine, you know, whatever. Could be anything. So that is definitely what they're talking about, I think, there. So prosecutors also cite motive as financial. Anna had a substantial life insurance policy with Brian as the sole beneficiary. Yeah, she probably should have fixed all that first. Marital strain. There was testimony about Anna having an affair. Additional circumstantial details. Phone records show Anna's phone last used January 2nd near their home, but she never used it afterwards. No travel records support Brian's claim she left for work. No traces of her post January 1st. But right, the defense is saying, well, so what? That's our defense. Yeah. He looked up all this crazy shit online. So what? It doesn't say he planned a murder. He panicked. And what do you do? Like, what if he really did, and for whatever reason discovered he was some kind of psychopath, no real emotions, and was able to do what he did? I mean, is it possible that somebody would find their wife deceased, panic, and do what he did? I mean, what if that's a true story? I don't believe that. But think about it. If you're going that route, what does the prosecutor really have? Yeah. He's like, I admitted it. Like, I dismembered her body. I did all of that. The internet searches, I did that. You know, that's what led me to the dismemberment. You know, I did research about it. I totally panicked. I just didn't think you guys would believe me. Look how messy this was. You can tell that I didn't plan this. Because that's the reality of it. He didn't plan the murder, but he did kill her. And he's had a chance to really look at the evidence. He knows that that is his best defense, right? There's no proof of murder. You don't have her body. And all of the evidence that you have against me, I'll just admit to it. For work trip, additional second. Pardon me. Okay, so the defense case here. Brian denies killing Anna. His defense claims that she died of sudden and unexplained cause. Well, they'll never be able to make a decision about that, right? They'll never be able to examine her to make a determination. whether or not that's true or not, because he dismembered her body and she's hidden. And I think he's lying. I think he knows where she's at. I think he planned to go visit there, kind of like as a trophy or something. He knows where she's at. Day, and he panicked, leading him to dismember and hide her body rather than report the death out of fear for their 3 young children. I mean, does he? What are we dealing with here? Like, does he actually have a case? They argue the internet search alarm don't prove murder. Could be panic driven or post event rationalizing, not proof of premeditation. Brian has admitted to the lesser charges of body disposal, misleading police, a partial concession, but still denies the core accusation of homicide. Right? I mean, he's playing his best. That's why I put that up on the poll. He's saying, well, this is really my only defense, right? None of it really points to me being a murderer. I'll just be a horrible husband. I'll be somebody that dismembers people. And I'll do a little bit of time for that, but I won't go down for murder. Let's see what else we got. All right. Right. And he also that. I'm gonna close down this poll. Thing seems to be running a little bit slow, so there we go. So I think that's his phone number there. And there's the hole in the ceiling. I don't know, guys. I think the hammer might have been the weapon. Right? You come down with the hammer, and then boom, you got the spray all across the ceiling, straight up, or even from the hammer coming back. Right? It comes down maybe a couple times, and then you kind of wish it back over your shoulder, and it's going to leave blood on the ceiling, possibly. Look at that big asshole. It's probably a big, I don't know. I guess you wouldn't call it a puddle, but a huge blood stain right here. And he just yanked it out. Because this right here kind of tells a story. Evidence will tell a story of what really happened. And if you have, I don't know what you call it, arterial spray or some type of casting, it's going to tell a story of murder. And there's nothing natural about that, right? Because if he came home and found that his wife had been murdered, he may have called law enforcement and been like, hey, somebody killed her. Obviously, it wasn't me. There's the weapon. You're going to find evidence of an assailant. You're going to find ring camera, some kind of security footage. You're going to find something, some evidence against this guy, right? So he had to change his story, or he had to make sure the story fit the correct narrative. And that's why he came up with the natural death. She wasn't murdered. She just died. It's the only way his defense works, is with natural causes. And that's why he went that route. See, good morning. Let me know about the ceiling. Best, Brian. January 6th. Right? He can't call the police yet. He's not done cleaning up. All right, guys, this will be our 5-minute warning. And I think we're going to follow along with this case. It's very bizarre. I'm fascinated by this guy. Fucking Jason Voorhees over here. Like, what is he trying to accomplish? It's like he's just trying to be disrespectful all the way to the end, right? Manipulating the system, manipulating the courts, just trying not to accept his fate, that he's a cold-blooded killer. Sparky says he didn't plan it, but he sure did it. Yep, that's my opinion. I'm right there with you. He didn't plan it. Very disorganized. And then after he realized all of his mistakes, he just admitted to all of his mistakes because none of them really led to him being the killer. Just the sick dismemberer. I don't think that's a word, but you guys know what I'm saying. Thank you, Jari. If you guys want to send a tip my way, there you go. Cash App, Sleuth Intuition. If you can't hit the Cash App, just hit the like button. It's right there. Don't be a scrub. The case of the missing coach is intriguing. Did he take off or unalive himself? I think he took his own life. Unless he had some kind of elaborate, fake your death thing set up. I'm not quite sure. What's going on, Vix? Vix in the building. Legal Beagles feel he has to get on the stand. Yeah, he definitely would have to. Right? He would have to and put on the performance of his life. Like, I came home and I panicked. Right? Oh, take your time. Take your time, Brian. I know that this is hard for you. Fucking waterworks, theatrics. Fucking Doug Carter. Anyway. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it. Pretty good live stream today. We're going to make this a regular. We got the green screen back up. We got the new anthem from Cheeks. I'm feeling rejuvenated here, guys. I'm feeling reborn. I got the gothic background over here and the logo up in the corner. We're killing it. But I think we're going to sign off here. And let's go ahead and drop the Sleuth anthem that was created by Cheeks. Killing it. Thanks, Cheeks. It rocks. It goes hard. Here we go. Check out the website, sleuthintuition.com. Hit the Cash App. If you can't, hit the like button. Replay crew, you know what to do.
He whispers sweet nothing, things better left unsaid. We got our ears to the ground, our eyes wide open and keen. No gaslight, shadows gonna dim our screen. Cheeks, she don't play no games. She calls out all their fake claims. Sleuth intuition, we got that vision. No ad hominem allowed, just facts shouted loud. Sleuth intuition, we got that vision. No ad hominem allowed, just facts shouted loud. Just facts shouted loud. Just facts shouted loud. Propaganda trying to twist up the truth. They feeding us lies from our childhood youth. But Patrick, he leading leading the way with a flashlight bright, exposing the darkness and bringing the light. Smooth intuition, he got that vision. No ad hominem allowed, just facts shouted loud. Smooth intuition, he got that vision. No ad hominem allowed, just facts shouted loud. They try to divide us with their silly schemes, break up our squad, break up all of our dreams, but we stick together strong.